Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kakodash, double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone who do well. Peace, love, and blessings to you, brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence, make your call and election sure. And blessings are very few sisters out to listen, learning, and believing. I'm the affiliate of Kanakla. I come to you once again with another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, this lessons edifying and exhorting. And I don't know I'll title this one, but start here in Romans 6, the 6th chapter, and the 16th verse. I know through the Spirit I'll put up a title accordingly. But here it is, Romans 6 and 16. It says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness." So, pretty much self-explanatory. Whatever you yield your members to, whatever you do, that's what you become servants to, all right? Whether it's sin or righteousness, all right? But we come into this ministry and believing on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and coming underneath the yoke of Yahweh Shai, we yield ourselves servants of obedience unto righteousness, all right? It says, "But the Most High bethink that ye were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered unto you." And I'll read that NLT. It says, "Think the Most High, once you were slaves of sin, but now you wholeheartedly obey his teaching we have given you." All right, because what we were once also slaves and servants to sin. But through the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, all right, believing on him, basically has freed us from sin. Okay, because your belief in Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh Shai's works and his perfection, if you believe on him, then we're no longer servants to sin. All right, so basically, through his works, by his grace, all right, were we delivered from sin. It says, "Being then made free from sin, ye become the servants of righteousness." So by default, the servants of righteousness, because you believe on Yahweh Shai. So if you believe on Yahweh Shai, you're going to do what he asks you to do. As he asked Peter, he basically said, if you love me, feed my sheep, which is an action. So it says, "I speak after the manner of men because of infirmity of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness unto holiness." And I'll read that one in the NLT. It says, "Because of the weakness of your human nature, I am using the illustration of slavery to help you understand all this. Previously, let yourselves be slaves to impurity and lawlessness, which led deeper into sin. Now you must give yourselves to be slaves to righteousness, living so that ye will become holy." All right, so it was just beautiful that he used that illustration as a slave, because that's basically what it is. You're in bondage. That's why Paul said, "I, a prisoner of Yahweh Shai." All right. So if you're a slave, basically that person owns you. You're bond. You're a prisoner to that person. Okay. So here it is now. We're slaves to righteousness. So that's why the scriptures say, "Be not weary in well doing." Okay. It's just by nature. You're in captivity. You see that even with animals when they're put in captivity. All right. They're not as happy as the animals out in the wild. All right. By nature. So by nature, the flesh is going to get basically depressed and tired of being a slave to righteousness. But that's why through the Spirit we continue to push on, because we know this is what's needful unto salvation. All right, what's going to lead us to eternal life, by being subject and servants unto righteousness, which can be very tedious and tiring to the flesh. But that's why we continue to push forward in the Spirit. It says, "For when ye were servants of sin, ye were free from righteousness." That's right, because you can only serve one master. You can't serve two. So either you're going to serve sin or you're going to serve righteousness. So when we were servants of sin, we were free from righteousness. And it all makes sense because we were in the world. We didn't know or understand anything that the Lord commanded us. So what we were free from doing the righteous deeds of the law. Okay. It says, what fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed? Exactly. The things we did in the world, what fruit did that bring? And we're ashamed of those things because they didn't bear no fruit. All right. Now that we see it, didn't bear anything. All of the shit we did in the world didn't bear no fruit. And we're ashamed of those things. It says, for the end of those things is death. And that's exactly what eventually would have led us to death. You know, if we would have continued, if we wouldn't have turned back. It says, but now being made free from sin and become servants to the Most High, ye have fruit unto holiness and in everlasting life. And we see the fruit of righteousness. You know, we see the life that it produces, you know, the right way. Once again, even though it's a task, it's a hassle in this flesh, but we see the fruit of holiness and everlasting life. It says, for the wages of sin is death. All right. But the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahweh Shai. So that's the wages of sin is death, because sin is transgression of the law, which is why we die, because we sin. That's a simple reason why we die and why we perish. Because we sin, man. It's that simple. If we didn't sin, we wouldn't die. Simply put. But we die because we sin. Which is why the new covenant will be established, where the laws will be in our inward parts. And which is why we'll never die again, because we won't sin again. It's that simple. We won't die again because we'll never sin again, because the laws will be in our inward parts. By nature, we will be righteous. You know, as they always use the example, you don't have to teach a bird how to build a nest. It just instincts. It's in its nature. You don't have to teach a spider how to spin a web. It's just in its instincts. It's in its nature. So that same nature that the Most High has given the animals, according to, you know, their habitat, well, the Most High is going to give us that righteous nature, which ultimately being the sons of God, so that we don't sin anymore. So to be literally in our hearts, we'll be programmed not to sin anymore. Therefore, we'll live forever, which through Yahweh Shai, all right, was ultimately the plan. Yahweh Shai brought us back to that glory. This is Romans, it's like a Wisdom of Solomon 1:13. It says, for the Most High made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. Exactly. So when you go into Genesis, the first chapter, and it says when God created basically the heavens and the earth, death wasn't one of those things that he created. Okay. It didn't say death. You know, the Most High created life. All right. It says, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. But the Most High did set laws and ordinances. And if, as we read, the wages of sin is death. So if you do break those laws, then, you know, judgment is set forth. It says, for he created all things that they might have their being. And the generations of the world were healthful. All right. It says, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. And this is the point. For righteousness is immortal. Okay, righteousness is immortal. So to be righteous, that brings forth immortality. Okay, that brought forth immortality. So our faith that we have in Yahweh Shai, that's why Yahweh Shai said, he that believeth on me shall basically have everlasting life. All right, because through Yahweh Shai fulfilled the law It was 100% righteous. So our faith in him is going to bring us immortality, to basically live forever. That's why Paul reiterated in Corinthians, basically, death, where's thy sting? All right, the sting of death. We will no longer have to deal with that because Yahushua conquered death, which is why he was risen. All right, so that's why Yahushua said, I am alive and forevermore, roughly paraphrasing. He said he is him that was dead, which is now alive. So Yahushua was resurrected, and when he comes back, we're going to be as him, which Yahushua is the sons of God. So we're going to go back to that first estate, and which is ultimately how the Most High created all things, which brings me to the next precept. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. It says, for the Most High created man to be immortal and made him. Can you go check on that, please? For the Most High created man to be immortal, okay, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. All right, so this is how the Most High originally ordained things, and we know that when we go to Genesis 1 and 26, and we know this is a whole breakdown to Genesis 1. It's not really saying the Most High is talking about the Elohim, Yahushua, and the angels, but that's for another lesson. All right, and this is going to prove that Genesis 1 and 26, and God said, which in the Hebrew that word is Elohim, meaning the powers, said, let us make man in our image. So here it is, these are gods, right? But he said, let us make men in our image, which ultimately that's how the Most High had everything set up. Because you got to understand, as you know, I forget exactly where I was reading, but man is basically the image of the Most High. Okay, I believe I was reading that in Wisdom of Solomon. Like I said, I was just reading this. Wisdom of Solomon 1. Might be the second chapter. Let's see. Might be the first chapter, but the point was basically that, like I say, I don't want to veer off the point too much looking for it, but the Most High created all things. Basically, it mirrored him. I forget exactly how it was worded. It might be the third chapter. All right, but basically the things that the Most High created, it mirrored him, man. All right, so men are supposed to mirror, and when I say men, I'm talking about the sons of God, because the sons of God later, which changed to the Israelites, the Most High always did with a chosen line. So when I say men, I'm talking about the sons of God, the Israelites. So the Most High created men, the Israelites, the sons of God, to be just like him, to be a reflection of him. So how can we fulfill that if we die? Okay. All right. We're bearing the image of the Most High, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, as it said in Genesis 1. All right. This wisdom, this knowledge and understanding is beautiful, man. So, but as you can see, we fell from that state. So how are we supposed to be the sons of God, a representation of the Most High, if we're dying and we're perishing? Goes to show you we fell from that estate. Genesis 1 and 26, and Al-Hayim said, let us make men in our image after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So the Elohim created man in his own image, in the image of the most of the power created he him, male and female created he them. Okay. So once again, that immortality. But as you can see through Romans, the 6th chapter, we basically obtain that. Okay, we basically obtain that. Just read verse 22 again. It says, but now being made free from sin and becoming servants to the Most High. And you can see what it is. What is in Galatians? You know, it's a lot of precepts coming to mind where basically the son being the heir, but, you know, he is no greater than a servant. So for us being servants to the Most High is basically showing that we're sons of him. Okay? And, you know, a lot of precepts that's complementing these things, but it's beautiful, man. Where it says in the New Testament, where being the son is no greater than a servant, roughly paraphrasing. So verse 22, but now being made free from sin and becoming servants to the Most High, ye have fruit unto holiness and the end of everlasting life, which is beautiful. Everlasting life, immortality, eternal life. Okay, which is how it's supposed to be if you're being a servant, a son of the Most High. Okay, then by default, all right, you should be able to bear that image of the heavenly, man. Let's see if I can find it. Servant. I know I'm probably doing that wrong, but yeah, Galatians 4. Galatians 4 and 7. Just to back that up. And we'll probably close out with this one. Let's start verse 6, Galatians 4:6. And because ye are sons, the Most High hath sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts. That's beautiful, man. All right. Crying, Abba, Father. So that's how the Most High is looking at us through Yahweh Shai. All right. He sent the Spirit of his Son through our hearts, through our mind. Okay. It says, wherefore, and remember the Most High searcheth the heart. Okay. So that's heavy. Wherefore thou art no more servant, but a son, and if a son, then an heir of God through Yahweh Shai. All right. That's not, I don't believe that's the one I'm looking for. Oh, that is it. Yeah, this is it, but it's just at the top verse. At the top it says Galatians 4:1 says, now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, okay, though he be Lord of all. Okay, that's the point. Romans 6 back this up. See how it all makes sense. It's Galatians 4. So when you go back to Romans the 6th chapter, and it speaks about us being servants, and he used the parable as being a slave, it all makes sense. Because as of right now, the servant is no greater. The son is no greater than the servant. But now being made free from sin, you become servants to the Most High. Ye have fruit into holiness and to end and the end of everlasting life. Life's like it. So Galatians 4. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord over all. So right now, brothers, yes, we're playing the role of a servant. You understand? But we're Lord over all, and we're about to get that glory as the Yahweh Shai. Okay? So yes, we're playing a role of a servant, but we see as the servant, all right, though he's an heir. Okay, he's an heir, man. Then we went down further and basically how it expounded that, you know, we are the sons of the Most High. Okay, verse 6, and because ye are sons, God hath sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts. All right. So, I should have read that all the way through, but wanted to get right to the point. But Lord willing, you understand this and you're edified by it. So, let's continue to be servants of righteousness, or slaves to righteousness. Okay, because that's just the sons. That's just the stage of the sons of God. All right, leading to that glory. Okay, so with that, Lord's willing, this is edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. Till next time, I say.